Hey, AfterBuzzers and Kominsky Method fans, welcome back to our season finale of the show. We are going to be talking about episodes 7 and 8 with Sandy and Lisa might possibly never rekindle their relationship. We're not exactly sure. And then Sandy goes into a complete frenzy. But you know what? At least they have each other. We cannot wait to break it down for you, so don't go away.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
This is actually one of my all-time favorite songs of all time. I love Sonny and Cher, and they've got each other just like Sandy and Norman do. Hey guys, welcome back to another Kominsky Method after show. We're going to be talking about episodes 7 and 8. This is the season finale, so this will be the last episode of the season that we'll be covering here on AfterBuzz TV, as well as I will just be covering by myself tonight. My lovely co-hosts Mina and Yasmin could not make it, but I wish them all the best and all the other after shows that they have covering here at AfterBuzz TV. So I'm gonna get right into it. So overall thoughts on this entire show as a whole, because obviously you guys probably binged it, but we decided to take this just 2 episodes at a time. And obviously we are huge fans of the show here. And I will say, if I were to have binged the show, I think it would have been easier to understand. Obviously, if you guys have been listening to our after show along the way, we've been kind of questioning, you know, what are everybody's motives? Why do we have all these characters that are coming into play? What do they actually mean to the storyline, to the plot? How is it going to progress? And all of those questions. And obviously, seeing the season finale tonight, it really kind of leads us into the pure fact that this is a show about friendship. This is a show about Sandy and Norman just navigating their lives through all of the struggles and trials and tribulations that they've been through. This is something that they've really kind of had to go through, and they're there for each other no matter what, no matter the struggle, no matter the amount of money that you might have been in debt for. They're always going to be there for each other. So I think it was very sweet to come to that conclusion at the end of this episode. And I will say I will have to go back and binge now, because then I think it's going to tie everything together and things are going to make a little bit more sense, and we're going to kind of see it's just kind of going to mend things better together for me. But let's jump into Sandy and Lisa. So I think our struggle this whole season was whether, you know, I think Lisa's on her own page and she's kind of just figuring out her life and how she's supposed to be going about this single life herself. And Sandy's kind of thought, you know, oh, she's a shoo-in. I think that she's really going to be there for me. And she has been. She's been there from all of the dates. She's been there, you know, from the hospital to the funeral, all the awkward times, the drunken mishaps that Sandy's had over time. She's been there over and over again. And I think it was really kind of important for Sandy to realize, like, you know, she is kind of putting herself first. And I'm wondering if that's going to drive him to really fight for her and fight for their relationship to work, or if it's going to be for for Lisa to kind of be like, okay, you know, I'm just having fun. I don't want anything more with Sandy. But that's kind of where I'm struggling, because I'm not sure if they're going to keep this relationship kind of progressing upwards, or if it's going to be that back and forth friends with benefits / not, teacher / lover, you know, where's that actually going to end up? But I thought it was important for Lisa to kind of be like, you know what, I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose my success in my career over a relationship for right now. And, you know, I think that's kind of, it's a struggle, because it's like what we're seeing with Norman and Sandy on their side. They don't really know how to navigate this life. You know, one of them struggling with life after death. What do you do when your significant other passes? And we kind of see Norman go into that frenzy. Before we get into that frenzy, I just want to mention how I'm so thankful for all of you guys watching, listening, liking, subscribing, commenting. We appreciate you guys so much, and we want to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue and to grow, we can use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. We love your thoughts and we love your comments. Being a part of of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us here, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and just keep enjoying your shows, because it helps us enjoy our shows so much more when you guys are in with the live chat with us, and you're basically our co-hosts, especially on days like today when I'm just by myself. I need my co-hosts, aka you guys, in the chat. So thank you guys so much, and thank you for letting us all be here and being able to talk about our favorite TV shows. Let's get into Norman going into the frenzy. Obviously, our last episode is kind of showing, Norman's lead up into this whole, how is he going to deal with Eileen no longer being there? I mean, she was his rock. She was there through everything. Even though he had Sandy, he didn't have to rely on Sandy in the specific ways he's going to need to in the future. And I think he was denying those emotions up until this moment. And I think it was kind of, obviously now looking back on it, something that we probably could have seen happening, considering, he's seeing Eileen and he's talking to her, and we see her as an image that he's talking to, but then when they pan the camera on a different direction, as if you were to be an audience member, you notice he's not ever talking to anybody. And I think that this is part of his, denial. And he even mentioned that this episode, saying it wasn't supposed to be me first. It was supposed to be it was supposed to be me. This wasn't supposed to happen this way. And I think he's just going through this denial of, how am I supposed to feel? What am I going through? And I think that this date that he went on really put him over the edge, and it made him really question what he was even going through and how he's going to tackle and deal with it. And it is kind of, Sandy's been there all along, and now he kind of has holding the whole taxes thing over his head. He really has to do things for him, because Norman's doing it as a friend, and he's doing it to be funny and just kind of be like, listen, you got to be there for me anyways, even if I wouldn't have paid for your taxes. But I think Sandy coming through and actually going there even was to have that emotional stability. I think that it was really important for Norman to even have to go through all of that, and then having the date and kind of having someone be like, you need to eat, and all these things that Eileen might have used to do. I think it was really weird coming from a different woman that wasn't his wife. Also, I want to know your guys' thoughts. So that is a lot, going on this date. I understand that you need to move on. You need to see what else is out there. But I mean, in the terms of the show, I think it's only been like 2 weeks. There's no possible way one could really emotionally be ready to go on a date after being married to someone for that long and then having lost them. But I mean, obviously to each their own. I'm not judging. I'm not saying anything different. But I think from us seeing the struggle that he's gone through, it was really shocking to see that he was going on this date and kind of ready for it. Not emotionally ready, but he was going to actually go through with it. So I think all of that leading to him kind of breaking down and being picked up by the police was just a realization to him that he might need to slow things down, and he doesn't need to figure it all out. This is going to be a long process. This isn't going to be something that you're just going to be able to solve overnight, and it's not going to be something that you're going to get over overnight, because this was the love of your life and this was your wife. But I think that's what makes this show so special, is because you're really seeing Sandy and Norman navigate who they are in this stage of their lives and how they're going to get through it. And I think Lisa kind of putting the stop on Sandy has really kind of urged him to realize that Norman is the person that's going to be there for him, and that's going to be who he has in the end. And right now, I mean, yeah, he's got his daughter Mindy, but Mindy's even kind of like, all right, now that I'm taking care of the studio and everything, there's only so much she can do emotionally for him. And I mean, he needs to be there for her too. So I don't know. I think we've been questioning this whole time, what's the main plot line of the show? And I believe it's friendship and being there for each other. And we really got to see that in this season finale. Also, going on to different topics, was the reason behind the Kominsky Method, which was something that when Norman was breaking down to Sandy and he was saying, I can see you, you can see me. The secret is that's the Kominsky Method, is really just seeing and listening and watching that person and reacting to them and being there with them. And so I found that really interesting because this is his Kominsky method for acting, but is he really applying that in his real life? We see that he struggled with his past relationships, he being Sandy. He struggled with his past relationship. He's still struggling with his current ones, and he's still struggling with his daughter. So I feel like it was really kind of confusing considering that's the method for how he acts in his class and how he is as an actor. And he's telling Norman to apply that to his life, but he's not really applying that to his own life. And we kind of see that with Sandy and Lisa, is that, yeah, she sees him, she's there, he's there, but just like the little mishaps of communication in the past as to how they slept together and then he didn't talk to her for a week, he needs to be in the moment. And I think maybe him helping Norman realize that is going to help him realize that he needs to get to that point too. And he's never going to be the best version of himself until he can really break down his own barriers and really be there in the moment, in I see you, you see me kind of way. But I think the show has a lot of depth behind it, and I'm really excited to see where they bring season 2. There is so many different avenues in which they can go down. I don't know if they're going to really focus on the relationships with the daughters, or they're kind of going to leave that in the past, or it's going to be focused more on Norman and Sandy's friendship, as we kind of realize that is the base and the heart of the show. But I find it very heartwarming. It is fun. It's enjoyable to watch. And I've really enjoyed the season. And I've enjoyed talking about it with all of you guys. It's been a blast. But we do have some fun news and gossip that we would like to get into today.
AfterBuzz TV News.
And we are going to start with Emily Osment. And she revealed on the red carpet on the SAG Awards that Michael Douglas taught her what Michael Douglas taught her. So if we go from 108, we'll be able to see what it was that she learned. And again, this was on the SAG Awards red carpet.
Learn from him. What's like one thing you've learned from him that's really stuck with you?
That's a good question. I think Michael does a good job of being calm when he's on set, and he's number one, and so number one sort of sets a precedent for the morale and how we're all feeling. And I think in terms of, I see him approach Sandy. He's very calm, he's got his preparation, and then he kind of lets it go, and he walks on set, and he's able to be present and talk to you as Michael, and then he goes into Sandy, and it's like this very good lesson of just relaxing is the best method of acting.
Well, in the middle of two legends, let me just say you hold your own, Emily. You do a great job.
I don't know about that,
Congratulations.
but thank you. That's
on
very
the, Yeah,
kind.
and on the pickup, going back to work this week.
Yeah,
Crush it.
I got a job.
Super exciting leading into season 2, which I cannot wait to see where they take it. And I hope they do more scenes inside the classroom, because we've gotten a little bit of a glimpse as to who these people are, but I'm wondering if we're going to dive a little bit more deep into who those people are as characters and not just students. So moving over to Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, they reveal their 20-year successful marriage and how smitten Michael Douglas was as soon as they found out they had the same birthday, some years apart. She likes golf, and he made her tap dance in a bath in the early days of dating. They're still a dance away in love to this day, and let's just take a look at this clip really quick.
Super handsome.
Oh, my God.
No. Super
Yeah, double
handsome.
chin, I don't know.
What is it about him that still makes you flutter after all these years? Well, he's the kindest man I've ever met in my life. A sense of humor. You just want to, he's actually quite funny in his show. But no, he's my best friend. So proud to be here with him tonight. Making her laugh. That's how you got this lady right here?
A couple of things. We found we have the same birthday.
Yes.
Few years apart. And it's been well said, but the first time I ever met her, I found we had the same birthday. And I told her, I'm going to be the father of your children. Right off the bat.
He did.
Yeah.
And then he found out I played golf. And I think that was
when
it.
I found she was going to go, I melted right there. Tears came to my eyes, and that was it.
When was the first time you guys ever met?
We met at the film festival in Deauville Film Festival.
20 years
Well,
ago.
I just
20
can't
years ago,
imagine
Catherine
20
was
years
there.
ago, and their love is still better than ever. It's just so fun to watch that. And it's kind of interesting, too, because it's so opposite of who Sandy is, or who Michael Douglas is playing Sandy in the Kominsky Method. One last news for you. We've got Alan Arkin and Danny DeVito also are going to be starring in Dumbo coming up on March 29th. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait for this. It looks amazing, and I love what Disney is doing with all the reboots. I mean, this and The Lion King, what can get better than this? Again, that's Alan Arkin and Danny DeVito. They'll be starring in the Dumbo movie by Tim Burton, directed by Tim Burton, on March 29th. Super, super exciting. We are going to lead into our special segment, which has to do with auditions. And this one was sent in by Mina. She couldn't be here tonight, but she's sending over her thoughts. And she's a huge fan of The Office, and she thought that this could be a cool clip for our audition segment. This goes to show how important casting is for a show. It would have been an entirely different show if Seth Rogen played Dwight and if Rob Lowe played Michael Scott. I think, it's very interesting, especially how every show, if it was just one person off, how different it could have made it. So we're just going to take a look at this clip really quick.
Urine is sterile. Did you know that? If you're in the field, you can clean a man's wound by taking a whiz on it. That is actually in first aid books written by the Red Cross.
We play hard and we work hard. Sometimes we probably play hard when we should be working hard, but that's probably my fault, but fire me.
Boring, isn't it? Just staying home watching TV every night.
Yeah.
Not for me, I like it.
Frankly, I spent the first month trying to remind my boss that there is no Y in paper.
I'm not afraid of violence in the workplace either. No, I mean, not me. Some people here are. Some of the secretaries, not me. Check this out. See this? It's 90% red hot peppers imported from Cuba. Right? Guy's done. Paralyzed for 2 weeks straight. I'm not afraid.
No, I'm trained in this from being a sheriff's deputy.
Volunteer?
Volunteer sheriff's deputy.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
I'm a sales rep, which means that my job is to
It's so
speak to
interesting.
clients.
Everybody has their different take on all those characters, and obviously The Office is a very loved show, and each one of them did bring something different, but I just couldn't imagine it with any of the cast members that they have today, because it's just so perfect and executed so great, and obviously that's why it's an amazing show and everybody loves it so much. Well, guys, it has been such a fun season. We love you all so much. We thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Please like and comment. Please continue to reach out to us on social media if you have thoughts for season 2 or anything that you want us to share. We'd be glad to look at it. But until then, I'm Ally Nasta. You can find me on social media at AllieGirl, and of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. Thank you so, so much. We will see you for season 2. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.